Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So today, Bitcoin took a little dump. Bitcoin fell to 25,000, holding a little bit above it. But what about FTX? Are they going to dump more? That's the question. They have a lot of crypto on hand. So let's talk about FTX, whether they're going to dump, and how Bitcoin and Solana and others will do, if so. All right, let's do this. Welcome, guys. Hopefully you guys are doing okay. I'm a little under the weather, to be honest, but I'm going to get through it. That's what I do. No matter if I'm on vacation or I'm sick, I'm going to keep going for you guys. Remember that. So today, a whole bunch of FTX news. Just all of a sudden, a lot of FTX stuff. So I guess the bankruptcy hearing and discovery and all of this is coming out. So as of right now, FTX still owns $222 million in real estate in the Bahamas. That's a lot. This is all like houses that SBF bought for his parents, for Caroline's parents, for everyone else, right? Hundreds of millions. Remember when SBF said that I got nothing besides $1,000 in my bank account? Well, it was $1,000 plus $222 million worth of real estate. Plus, they have 1,300 tokens. Okay, 1,300 tokens. What does that mean? Well, 1,300 tokens equals 1.1 billion in Solana, which is roughly 16% of the overall circulating supply. 16%, let that sink in, of Solana is held by FTX. Not only that, FTX holds 560 million, that's $500 million in Bitcoin. 192 million in ETH, 137 in Aptos, and then even 120 in XRP. Okay, if you add it all up, that's a lot. That's over $2 billion, okay, in tokens and coins. So that's quite a lot. Some of you guys may be wondering what's been happening with Solana. And there has been some wallets linked to FTX, right? Some moves of Solana. So people are wondering if this is the time where they're just selling off, right? So in case you're wondering, I looked this up. This shows like the top stakers of Solana. And you could see largest holders of locked stake. You have 3 that belongs to Alameda, okay? And this is in total. You can see 106,000 accounts to the first wallet address, and then 48 and then 3, right? But if you add it all up, that's a lot. The good thing about this is out of the 1.1 billion, roughly about 750 million of that is locked until 2025. So that's our most bullish year, right? That is after the halving event. And you can see the majority of it is right before the end of 2025. So normally speaking, if you're trying to time before your cycle, right around the November, December timeframe is when you want to get out, right? So it just so happens about $700 million worth of Solana will unlock right around that time, November of 2025. But 2 months ahead in September, you have 7.8 million worth of 8 million amount, not dollar amount. And then you have 7.5 million like in March of 2025. So the good news is majority of that 1.1 billion is locked in for a couple years. The bad news is there's still about like 400 million that's unlocked that they hold. 400 million is a lot to be dumping on a weak market, right? Now, I don't know. This does not reveal what their true intention is. If they are planning on liquidating everything to give cash back to the people, they don't really have a plan yet. But it does seem like they've been selling off some of their smaller assets converting into stable assets like, stable coins or Bitcoin, right? So I don't know what their plans are for Solana, but it is concerning. They hold such enormous amount of Solana, and about 400 million worth could be dumped at any time. And they still have 750 million locked in until 2025, right? Now, as for Bitcoin, they still do have 560 million worth of Bitcoin. Will they sell that off? I mean, I would say, I don't know, but it seems unlikely they would try to sell that off right now, because normally I said this, they convert to USDC and Bitcoin to be given back. Like even Mt. Gox is doing that, right? And we don't hear about Mt. Gox either. What happened to them? But yeah, so that's the latest that's happening with FTX. Now, there's 75 bidders that are trying to buy FTX right now to do a launch. So they're serious about it. They think they have recovered enough that they don't actually need to just close shop, that they could just relaunch, right? But again, there's no details on how much, creditors they have to pay back, how much assets will they have afterwards, will they be dumping them to fetch a cheaper sale? The details of those things have not been revealed. I don't think so, right? But there are. And you know who's considering of buying FTX 2.0? Well, of course, it's Justin Sun. He's been buying everything. He bought Huobi, he bought Polionex. He's been buying everything. As soon as he buys it, they die. But he says that he may be buying them to reduce the selling impact on the crypto community. Is that really the case? Or does he want to turn into a giant Tron exchange, right? TRX exchange? I don't know. I just know that whatever Justin Sun touches, it's no good afterwards, right? So that's the bottom line. There are a lot of concerns about FTX. Right now, SBF is going to face trial soon, but what is FTX going to do with all these tokens and real estate, right? Are they going to dump? Are they going to hold? Are they going to sell it to the next highest bidder? Unknown at this point. But if you are holding on Solana, you may want to watch out, because they do hold enormous amount of Solana, which is unfortunate because Solana has actually been doing pretty good recently. It's been doing pretty good this year until like the last week or so, when they started to sell off greatly again, right? And the thing is, Solana is actually doing some good things. For example, they have this going on where Visa is trying to utilize Solana and USDC for global transactions, right? So there are major firms that's trying to test the Solana network. And on a positive note, we haven't heard anyone complain about a network outage so far, right? It's been a while. I haven't heard anyone say Solana has been down or anything like that. So overall, it's been pretty good, except the FTX thing, right? So be careful if you're a Solana holder. Now, as for Bitcoin itself, right? Bitcoin took a little breather today, unfortunately, 25.1. This morning I talked about the death cross, which is no good at all, right? But I did say many times in the past, when we have a death cross, what does that mean? That means a bottom is actually right around the corner. When we see a death cross, since death cross is made up of two lagging moving indicators, they take a while before they actually do something, especially on a daily scale. So a lot of times when you do have a death cross, it actually signals that a bottom is near and we are going to flip, right? But I did say that if we do go a little bit lower, 25,000 would be a natural kind of stopping point, because you could see right here, that was a top, a resistance. Over here is support, about 25,000, and that is right where we are right now. However, I've also said that why would you want to sell your Bitcoin now? Why would you want to fall for the FUD and give up on your hopes and dreams, right? The fundamentals of Bitcoin has never, ever been better. And this guy right here makes some good points. We got spot ETFs coming either end of this year or early next year, right? We have the halving event, of course, coming. You have hash rate, all-time high. Michael Saylor just made FASB, fair value accounting, right, happen. And businesses and firms can now do fair value accounting when it comes to Bitcoin. Declining supply and exchanges, part of the growing fundamentals. And let's not forget the money printing, okay? That has not stopped in the US or any other country out there. So these are reasons why we turn to Bitcoin. And none of these reasons have changed just with Bitcoin forming a death cross or with Bitcoin falling lower. No, none of these things have changed. Here's an interesting chart. This is the M1 money supply. Now, this is staggering because I thought the statistic was 40%, but according to this person, it's 80%. This is the number of money that has ever existed with USD, and you could see it was very low, then started around 2005, 2010, started escalating. Then we kind of had a top in 2020, and then boom, we went up. According to this guy, 80% of dollars were printed within the last 3 years. 80%. I thought it was 40%, which is really high. But if this is true, if 80% of all money was printed last 3 years, no wonder we have inflation. No wonder so many people are turning to Bitcoin. And no wonder Fed Powell keeps on raising rates, because this is the true reason for inflation, not anything else that he's been saying. This is the true reason why we have inflation and hyperinflation around the world, right? And if you think about this, there are 62.5 millionaires out there. Okay, 62.5 million millionaires out there. And there's only 4.1 million Bitcoins left. That includes like the 2 million left to be mined and about 2 million on the exchanges. Okay, that's why it's like 4.2 million. But it's really not that much at all, because everything else that will be mined will be going to the miners. They're not going to release those. They're not going to sell those. Okay, and whatever's left on exchanges is dropping like a rock. So there's really not that many. And there's not enough Bitcoin for every millionaire out there. Imagine the billionaires and the trillionaires that are buying too, right? So scarcity is definitely a real thing, something you should not ignore. And as for the halving event, if you're looking at the very first one, the second one, the third one, which is the one we're in right now, this is basically accumulation time. This is the time where we trend sideways for a little bit, okay? Then we start seeing some movement. And we get closer and closer and closer to the halving event. And then what happens after a halving event? Well, good things like you see here, right? Very good things happen after a halving event. So stay strong, my friends. I've been saying this for a while. Don't fall for the FUD. Don't sell your Bitcoins to the big whales and institutions that are buying behind the scenes. Continue to hodl, continue to accumulate, and let the gains come to you. Don't be chasing those gains. When you chase, that's when you make mistakes. Let it come to you. And lastly, this is pretty good. Ex-PayPal president turning Bitcoin into a global payment network. So besides just the fundamentals, the adoption is going to increase tremendously in the coming years as people utilize Lightning Network and, of course, Bitcoin's network too. So there will be far greater utility in the future versus now. So don't forget about that either. All right, that is pretty much it overall today. Pretty red day, okay? So it's a little scary, a little bit fuddish, okay? And this FTX news is definitely not helping the situation. But like I said, Stay strong. Stay focused. Stay in the future. All right, let's do some Q&A. I probably should not be drinking beer because I'm not feeling the greatest right now. I don't know. It's the only thing in my fridge. Robert Knight, I saw you sent a super chat earlier. Appreciate that. Young Bras says George Pump incoming. I hope so. A lot of people are saying F Solana. Solana's going to die. Solana under 500. Solana is trash. A lot of people love to hate on Solana, right? I get it. I get it. The ties with FTX, their network crashes, you know, they don't have a lot of TVL either, but they're still a promising chain. Let's see. George, a minute. We're heading for 20,000. This is not a bad thing. Just DCA your pains away. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's actually true. This morning I did mention there is a possibility. If we get a major dump, we could get back to 20,000, right? And bounce off of there. But I don't think it's that bad. Not yet, at least. There may be some macro factors. Tomorrow we're going to get a CPI print. If we get some horrible inflation data or something else happens, maybe, but usually when we have a death cross and it's not coming off of from a top, the death cross is a major indicator of a reversal because it's lagging. So don't discount that as well. This is the coldest month of crypto winter. Spring is near. We're already past crypto winter, my friend. Microfiber only. 15,000, 16,000 was the end of crypto winter. DCA is the best. Wait, I missed that. It scrolled out. The red loop, DD equals #1 FUD packer. All right. I didn't mean to laugh that much at that statement. 20K isn't even that low. I'm trying to stack a full coin. I need it lower. How low do you need it to go? Do you think Jerome Powell will raise interest rate? I don't think this time in September. It's pretty much locked in that it's not going to be raised. There will be a 0% chance, basically. But the next one in November, there may be a big chance, which is no good. Tomorrow's inflation reading is big, so we'll know for sure. If inflation is on the way up again, which it may be because supply chain issues. So if it happens, that's no good for sure. Wagme, Grady, appreciate you guys are in here. Solana haters are usually Cardano holders. Yeah, there's this infighting between Cardano and Solana people. I don't know. Crypto has the most drama I've ever seen from a market. Yes, there's a lot of tribalism. That's for sure. I just bought $100 of Bitcoin today. Congratulations. DCA is the way. Okay. You take the guessing out of it. Wally, no. First of all, it's called WAG, W-A-G, 2024, and it's going to be in Nashville. It's going to be right behind Bitcoin 2024. That's the best way to do it. Oh, yeah, CPI is Wednesday, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Sorry, it's on Wednesday. Someone corrected me there. I think there's an Apple 15 announcement tomorrow. Apple iPhone 15 or something. Rodgers, I saw, got injured like on the first play or second play. But still, it didn't help Bears at all. Bears still lost to Green Bay in an embarrassing way. When is the next episode of the next Crypto Gem? It should be this Thursday. The first episode was released on Thursday, so I figure it should be Thursday this week. Yeah, I saw Rodgers was carried off. He like tore his Achilles or something in the first quarter. Like, I don't know how many plays in, but he got injured like right away. Let's just assume SBF parents are holding cold wallets and they're safe. I don't know. I think by now they already basically the state has recovered everything they're ever going to. I bet. I think they probably got everything back. I don't know what the difference is though between what they have versus how much they owe to the creditors and people. I don't know what that difference is, but for them to be comfortable with a relaunch makes me think that they're not that far off. But I think this is just a horrible idea. CVO. Once the ETF is approved, can't they suppress Bitcoin's price the same way they have done with gold and silver by issuing unlimited paper derivatives to the market and just crush the demand halfway? Well, some theorize that, yes. But look at what happened to gold's price after the fact. It went up crazily, right? And even though some argue that Wall Street has been suppressing gold, it has been making moves too. Gold has moved up. It did form a new high, right? But gold is not as good as Bitcoin. Gold is not as limited as Bitcoin. It doesn't have a set supply. And a lot of it has to do with the miners, right, of gold and who owns the mines and how much they produce and dig and all that stuff, right? A lot of things that does not apply to Bitcoin. So it's not really the same. And you have a lot of futures derivatives already based on Bitcoin, and they don't really affect Bitcoin's price anymore. They used to, but they don't anymore. Favorite Transformer movie? First of all, Scott, I'm not like a 13-year-old, okay? And no 39-year-old should be asking what is your favorite Transformers movie. Am I still bullish on Polygon? Yes. Yes, I am. I have not given up on Polygon. I'm still rooting for them They got some competition. They got some fierce competition. That's their biggest problem right now. Can the United States basketball team win gold after coming up so short in World Games? Well, you saw what LeBron did, right? He committed, and he got Curry and Durant and Booker, and now you got Kyrie and Lillard and everyone else that's ready to commit. Yeah, we will win gold for sure in 2024. It would be utterly embarrassing for the U.S. not to win basketball in 2024. Did the Vegas trip already happen? Yes, it did. It happened. Where have you been? Jamie, the next conference will be end of this month. It'll be at Cypherpunk in Fort Lauderdale. If you guys want to go, check it out. There'll be good projects there. A lot of the teams from the next Crypto Gem will be there. We'll do a panel. But in addition, there'll be others there. So fun fact, LeBron James was on a cover of Men's Health magazine that I was the pull-out poster in. I guess you couldn't cut it for the poster. Scott, are you comparing yourself to LeBron James? No offense. No offense. But you may want to stay in your lane, bro. Whole Cage, is that how you say it? Whole Cage is almost at 1 Bitcoin. Congratulations. Becoming a whole coiner is very, very, very difficult to do. And it should be celebrated. So, good. Congratulations. All right, I think we gotta call it a night. I'm not feeling so hot today. But, you know what? Don't give up, my friends. Death crosses come and go. Doesn't mean a whole lot. The fundamentals of Bitcoin has not changed. Look at these things that are happening. Money is still being printed out of thin air. And that is why inflation will never stop. Governments will never be responsible with money. And that's why we all need to be in Bitcoin. Okay? So, stay strong, my friends. Don't fall for the FUD. Continue to accumulate and DCA. And I will see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care.